Hi, my name is Tim House, Special Operations Coordinator here at the Department of Fire Services. Today we're going to talk a little about our rehab program and the custom vehicles we have to deliver this program all across the Commonwealth. Behind me here is Rehab 7, one of our 4 custom-built rehab trucks we have stationed across the Commonwealth. These trucks were designed with firefighter rehab in mind. We've learned over time that these trucks aren't just for firefighter rehab, they're also good for EMS, local public officials, and even law enforcement. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Our rehabs can be activated 24/7 by calling the MEMA dispatch number at 508-820-2000. One of the things we stress in the Special Operations Division is early activation of our resources. Unfortunately, one of the things we find is that these rehab vehicles aren't thought about until after firefighters start experiencing the effects of the elements. By putting us on your run cards or having us pre-planned with your local dispatch, we can get on the road early and be set up before firefighters feel the effects of the environment. One thing to remember is rehab's not just for emergencies. Quite often we do pre-planned events with these rehab vehicles. These vehicles can be used when responders are going to be exposed to the elements for lengths of time on long days, such as the Boston Marathon, the Falmouth Road Race, and other outdoor events where responders are going to be exposed to heat, cold, or the stresses of the incident over a length of time. To help facilitate response, we have rehabs stationed all across the Commonwealth. Our goal is to respond to any community in less than an hour. Our average response time is actually around 40 minutes for anywhere in the Commonwealth. To achieve our goal of being anywhere under an hour, we've stationed these trucks across the state. Rehab 4 is located in West Newbury, Rehab 5 is located in Springfield, Rehab 6 is located in Middleborough, and this truck here, Rehab 7, is located here in Stowe. These strategic locations allow us rapid access to highways and main roads so we can be anywhere as soon as possible. One thing to remember is that these rehabs aren't just for firefighters. Quite often at large incidents we have law enforcement and EMS professionals that also can utilize this truck. Right now, let's take a look inside the rehab unit to see how these actually work at an incident. Here we are inside of one of our custom-built rehab trucks. A lot of thought was put into these vehicles when they were designed on how we can assist firefighters as best as possible. One of the things we find here in New England is quite often we have weather extremes. Due to that, these are built with air conditioning on the roof, diesel wall heaters, so no matter what the temperature is, we can maintain a constant temperature in the truck. Quite often in the winter, firefighters are exposed to extreme cold. One of the things we added in our newest rehab vehicles is this gear drying area here. This is a diesel-powered forced hot air heater that firefighters can hang their turnout gear in to thaw the ice out and at least warm the gear back up before they have to put it back on and head back out to continue their job. One of the things you might ask in here is, why aren't there more windows? One of the key pieces of rehab is separating the responder from the environment. So we purposely did not design this with a lot of windows in it. By not having the windows allows the responder to come in here, take a deep breath, and not only physically rehab, but also mentally rehab from the stresses of the incident scene. A lot of thought was put into designing these rehabs. You notice the bench seats are easy to clean, the floor is easy to clean, and we do sanitize this after every call, so it's always safe. The level of rehab is up to the local incident commander. Some incidents require less formal rehab, where the responders come in here, get a cool bottle of water, sit in a climate-controlled environment, and just recharge and get ready to go back to the event. Other incidents require formal medical monitoring. To help facilitate this, we store these rehab cards where firefighters' vitals are recorded by local EMS professionals. At an incident, we always like to see an ALS level ambulance standing by with the rehab truck here to provide needed care in the event that a responder has a medical emergency. In the event that an ALS ambulance is not available, a BLS ambulance can also stand by. The level of care is always up to the local incident commander, and we never dictate or try to take over an incident scene. One of the other benefits for calling for this rehab truck is we do provide hydration and some food for responders that are at an incident for a long period of time. We're not a canteen, however we do work great with local canteens. What we've found is if you're going to be at an incident for a long time, you can call for this truck, we'll park next to your local canteen. They can provide meals, the responders can come in here and have a place away from the incident where they can recharge and get ready to go back to work. One of the things to remember is rehab is actually an NFPA standard. NFPA 1584 spells out how important and how critical firefighter rehab is at a fireground scene. Remember, if you need to activate one of these DFS rehab resources, it's as easy as calling the MEMA dispatch number 24/7 at 508-820-2000. When you call, have a staging location and the type of incident ready. Once they gather that information, they'll activate and dispatch our resources as appropriate. Remember, these resources are not just for emergency events. If you find yourself needing one of these for a pre-planned event in your community, call our Special Operations Office anytime at 978-567-3171. Leave a detailed message and we'll get back to you and we can set up this resource as needed.